$17,261 gain just by owning a home. This is the St. George Real Estate Morning Drive.
And I mean, like,
what's up, Jesse?
Good morning. Just living the dream.
Good morning, brother. He is living the dream. The thing is, you believe it.
Oh, I do. I wake up thinking I'm living a dream.
I was having this conversation with a friend recently. One of our great mentors, Matthew Ferry, Tom Ferry's brother, says you're going to make a story up anyway as a human being, so you might as well make up one that's empowering.
Well, I often tell the story about for probably 44 years, I woke up and I would look in the mirror and tell myself, man, you're a dork.
Yeah.
God, you're ugly.
Yeah.
You're scrawny. I mean, literally, that was my message to myself. And about 12 years ago, I started looking in the mirror and smiling and saying, man, you look good. And look at that smile.
Isn't that cool?
Man, you're good looking. And it took a couple years, but one day I realized that I actually believed it. So whatever you tell yourself, you are going to believe.
Man.
So why not tell yourself that you're living a dream?
Well,
and I actually am living a dream, truly.
Yeah.
Because from where I came from, it doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah, when you've been on the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Hey, you weren't even in the bottom of the barrel. You were actually underneath the barrel. They moved the barrel, and there you were, right?
Yeah, there you were.
Oh my gosh! And
So
this
true.
guy's outstanding. He looks sharp. He's sharp. He's a great professional. And Jesse, as a matter of fact, not only have you come from the bottom of the barrel, you're the one that did the analysis on the 3 financial benefits of homeownership today that we're going to talk about, guys. We are a real estate program. We help people in Washington and Iron County predominantly. We do some work in northern Utah, but we help people manage their wealth in real estate. We are licensed in the state of Utah. Buyers, sellers, investors. We've helped over 2,000 clients make a move. This is crazy. And one of the things we're going to talk about, the thing we're going to talk about today in our show is what we call the 3 financial benefits of homeownership. It's kind of fascinating, Jesse. We spent some time this last week with our team. You know, we operate from the cool building on the corner of Tabernacle and University that's got a big old mural on the side. And anytime you say that, people go, oh, yeah, that's amazing. I watch people outside my window taking photos all the time.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I love it. I'm like, please come take photos.
And that's what you were hoping for when you designed this. Yeah,
we want people to enjoy it.
Yeah, I remember the day that you had, when she finally finished that mural, and it says, you belong here.
Yeah, you belong here.
And I remember the conversation where you were envisioning, man, I hope people feel comfortable coming and taking a picture here because they belong here.
Yep.
That was your vision.
Yeah, man. I love that. Thank you for saying that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, we call this place Legacy Corner. And, you know, that's what we do. It's who we are. So when we talk about homeownership, there's a mistake realtors make. If you're a consumer, I want you to, if you're in the public, I want you to think about if you've heard this. Realtors are taught, and we talked about this on the phone this morning. Realtors are taught, we are actually given by the industry slides and scripts like, hey, 5 reasons you should buy a home this year. 4 reasons it's time to sell. And I was talking with Jesse that there's nothing really more compelling than talking about people who are actually buying and selling. Instead of telling people they should buy or sell, if you're a consumer, what I want you to know and what I want you to invite you into this morning is, if you've been one of these people who's thinking about making a move, but you have some fears, and let's talk about some of them. I'm just going to rattle them off. You're afraid, and I'm going to share on my screen right now, in descending order, some of the most recent clients or homes we've sold or helped people purchase. I'm afraid I can't get enough for my home.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it's too expensive to buy a home. I'm afraid that I might overpay and prices might fall. I'm afraid that I might sell my home and prices are going to go up and I'll leave money on the table. I don't know where I would purchase I don't know where I would go if I did sell the home. I don't know if I could afford a home if I sold the home. I don't want to give up my 2.8, 2.9, 3.2, 4.2% mortgage rate. And on and on and on. These are normal fears. I'll tell you right now. Melissa, one of our great team members, just helped a client purchase, oh my gosh, one of the most stunning homes in Washington County, $1.87 million in Hurricane. We helped somebody purchase in Boulder Spring Villas. I lived there for a very short period of time in between homes.
I remember that.
I just helped. These are the most exciting transactions. I just helped Devin and Lynn sell their Sand Hollow Resort home. There was some gigantic complexity. It was a home I didn't think would sell. And when it did, those are the most satisfying sales. We helped a client purchase on Libra Street in Shooting Star in Washington Fields. We helped a client at Cotton Acres over kind of near the Stadium 10 theaters. Brighter Way. This is for my great clients, Boyd and Barbara, who sold 2 investment properties so they could purchase a commercial building in Page, Arizona.
Good job.
Craig and Chantel, we helped them sell their short-term rental. Maybe you're a short-term rental owner. You're not making enough money. You're in hell managing a short-term rental, dealing with it, and you want to sell. We didn't know if they could get that sold. And we sold their place on Paseos, in the Paseos. Nice. And we did very well. And you know what we did creatively? We allowed the buyers who purchased the home and they came to look at it from Northern Utah, we allowed them to stay in the home for the weekend.
Smart. Let them experience it.
They bought the home.
Yeah.
And the last one, Jesse, I want to talk about, you had a very complex divorce situation out in old Little Valley Farms.
Yep.
What did the house sell for?
$969.
They did pretty well.
They did. That was one that we weren't really sure how the market was going to react at the price we were testing, and it ended up to be a good situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see yourself in these scenarios, I just want to say you're normal. Your fears are normal.
Mm-hmm.
And, instead of us telling you should buy or sell, you have to figure out who should buy or sell. But we talked about, Jesse, this value of the financial benefits of homeownership last week. If you want to buy a home and you're one of those people who's like, I need like a little bit of data to push me over the edge, let's talk about it today. Yeah. Okay. So what are, Jesse? So first of all, as we transition, I want to have a smooth transition.
Okay. You smooth it out.
Most buyers and sellers share one of like maximum 10 fears, and it's more like 5 or 6. That's about it.
Yeah.
And I listed them. There really aren't many more fears, primary fears, that hold them back from living the life they want to live, meaning in the home they want to be in, or moving out of the home they don't want to be in. So you're normal, and we can help you figure out whether that works for you. But if you're on the edge and you're like, man, I want to own a home. What do we call the 3 financial benefits of homeownership? What are they?
So the first one is appreciation.
Yeah, like your home going,
the home value appreciating,
going up. Yeah,
the second is principal reduction, like as you're paying your loan off, the principal that you pay down, and the third is the tax savings.
Okay, and I've got a scenario. It's already on the screen, and we're going to talk about this today. So, Jesse, thanks for bringing this. This is from we're partnered with a company called Place. This is our Place mortgage calculator.
Just to set this up a little bit, the one that we're looking at here. So I did an average of 500,000 on all the scenarios. This first one is considering a 4% down or an FHA loan. Okay, and it's assuming the market goes up by 1%, and it's also assuming that they're in a $80,000 to $170,000 tax bracket for the family.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's the tax saving is based on whatever your tax bracket is.
Yeah, and what you're assuming is some pretty normal stuff.
Yep.
$500,000, guys. The average sales price in Washington County is probably more like $600,000. The median's like $520,000. He's saying $500,000, generic home, by standards.
Yep.
He says, hey, home goes up by 1%. Jesse, what over the last 10 years, what are we up in Utah? 60?
Yeah, 60%.
60% appreciation in 10 years. And here's why I'm pointing this out. A mistake that people make is they think that their home will go up in value
all the time.
all the time,
Forever.
every year.
Yep.
Your home won't go up every year forever. However, there is not a 10-year period in the last 30 years in which home values have not what?
Gone up.
Gone up.
Yeah. Including the great meltdown of 2008. So from 2008 to 2018, home values were
actually went up. Guys, the entire economy was stopped. The government bailed out Ford and GMC.
Yeah.
And over a 10-year period, home values still went up. And they actually went up significantly. And then when you got into 21. So let's look at this scenario. So they own a $500,000 home. They purchase it, and it goes up by 1%. Well, that's pretty simple math. That's
so
$5,000.
Yep.
Principal reduction. Well, Jesse, I love to say on our show, renting is not necessarily throwing your money away because you do get to use the home.
Yep.
However, when you rent a home, you only what's typical rent in this town? $2,500, $2,200?
Yeah. 22,000 to 2,500 probably.
Let's say it's 2,000. That's low.
It is low for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
So you give $24,000 to your landlord for a year. If it's 2,500, you give them $30K. At the end of the year, the landlord has paid down their principal on their loan by probably $6,000,
mm-hmm.
and you've paid their mortgage for them.
Well,
and where have you gotten? Well, financially, you've gotten nowhere. As a matter of fact, you've gone negative.
Yeah, negative.
But you did get to live there. So
here's the other thing you did for your landlord, though, which is why before the show we were talking about why I'm actually still buying real estate.
Yeah.
So that tax savings for a landlord is actually more than your tax savings because you get to add depreciation too.
Yep, you gave
so that's a whole other show, but
you gave the landlord
a heck of a tax break.
A big old tax write-off. Or
you could have had that for yourself.
Yeah, you could have had the $6,000 in principal reduction because you pay a lot of interest on a mortgage. Everybody knows it. But you pay your principal down some. And the third part that Jesse talked about is tax savings. And he said that based on the 22% tax bracket, kind of average Washington County resident, how much would you save in a year in taxes?
$6,280.
So guys, that's a $17,261. I want to know, I will tell you who this show's for today, this conversation. This is more for the adults, for the parents of adult kids who are trying to decide if they should buy than the buyers. I think far more of our listeners are middle-aged and beyond, and we're on talk radio. And this is where this conversation, I'll tell you one that we see a lot.
Okay.
I get phone calls like this, Jesse. Hey, my kid's going to be going to Utah Tech University or Southern Utah University. We figure we might as well not have them throwing money away on rent. We're going to buy a property for them or with them and have them and their roommates pay the rent, the mortgage, and we're going to start paying it down rather than just having our kid throw money away at college. What do you got?
So middle age, what's the price you think they're going to buy? $650, $700?
Let's call it $700.
Okay. How much are they going to put down? Probably 20%?
Well, I can't speak to that, man.
Well, we've
got
to pick a number.
Meaning not everyone's going to put 10 or 20% down. However, if they sold another home, put 20% because they're going to carry the equity forward.
30 years,
at least
their
20%.
interest rate's going to be probably 6.19 right now. And we're going to figure, what do you think the appreciation is going to be this year? 0 in the next 12 months?
I think we will see no home value appreciation.
All right. And they're probably married.
Okay. He's running a scenario as we speak.
Okay.
I'm excited to see where this goes.
They probably make between 80 and 170, right? If they're middle-aged.
100%.
Okay.
If you don't make 80, you can't even live.
Okay. So here we go. So their savings, they're going to have 0 appreciation. Their principal reduction will be $6,600. Their tax savings will be $7,585 for a total of $14,222. And that's because of the 0 appreciation. And that could even be a -1, and they're still going to be ahead $7,000.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm still buying real estate, because I'll still be ahead even if the market goes down. Now, I'm not saying everybody should do that, but that's why I'm doing it, is because I'm doing it for tax benefits and future wealth, not what the market's going to do in the next year or two.
Yeah, I love this scenario. I love that scenario. This is a real person who has owned a few homes. They traded the equity forward. They got the 3 benefits, financial benefits of home ownership: appreciation, the reduction of the principal because every month part of your mortgage is paid down.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is tax savings in no order. They got a tax benefit for owning a home. So you know what, Jesse, home ownership's just not for everybody.
No, it's not.
And there are some times and phases in life where it doesn't make sense anyway.
But here's what I'm going to point out. Unless people actually sit down and have a full educational conversation, they don't really know if it's for them or not.
Yeah.
Because if we are making decisions based on fear, they're never good decisions.
Yep.
Instead of making decisions based on need and education. If it's based on fear of what's going to happen, it's not education and hey, what's the truth? What am I really saying no to? I just don't see those as often being good long-term decisions.
No. And you know what I'm going to add to that? I think there are 2 ways that people make decisions poorly. One is out of fear. The other is out of ignorance is such a negative term. But they say ignorance is bliss. Do you know why they say it's bliss? Because you're just not aware. It is bliss because you're just like, well, I didn't know anyway. But they make decisions out of ignorance because they heard the market is a certain way. I'm looking at a screen right now. I'm looking right now that this year we have helped closed. Now, this is not people who are in a contract. 66 families sell a home at an average of $510,390.02. How's that for specific? 510. We've helped 60 families, this is always pretty normal for our team, buy a home at an average price of $547,790.93. So when you look at this, okay, we've also worked with 9 families that we referred somewhere else across the country. Mm-hmm. So 135 families buy or sell. It's roughly 55% sellers and 45% buyers. And when you average that whole kit and caboodle out, you're probably averaging $525,000 on a transaction.
And that's why I did the 500,000, because on average, that's really what it is.
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting because, Jesse, on a monthly basis, like right now in Washington County, there's 600, well, there's more than 600, probably 700 families in a purchase contract, because I'm talking about the stuff that's not on the MLS.
Yeah.
700 families means 700 buyers, 700 sellers.
Yep.
And we talk about this a lot on the show, just because there's 2 sides to every transaction. And you realize that 1,400 people are doing something, and yet you have thousands of would-be movers saying, oh, well, I heard the market wasn't any good, so I just don't want to do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's the ignorance.
That's where it's, well, ignorance and fear of doing the wrong thing. And now I've learned this the hard way. I've helped clients in the past that it turned out to be not the best thing we could do. At the moment, I didn't know. And I was trying to help them out of a bad situation. Mm-hmm. And the best thing we actually could have done is helped them figure out how to stay. But they were making decisions out of fear. And at the time, I wasn't not smart enough, but I didn't know enough to know that, hey, wait a minute. If I'm making decisions out of fear, I need to really slow down and get more information. So
I want to share a situation. Caleb, what do we got for time today? Because I was not paying attention. 5-minute mark. I'm thinking about buying a car.
Yeah.
By the way, this isn't hypothetical. I'm actually thinking about buying a car. So Jesse knows this because I said, maybe I'll buy your car.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about selling a car.
Jesse bought a car. He's going to sell his RAV4. It's a cool car. It's hybrid. It's decked out. I got in it. It's just too small. And
Yeah.
It's funny that it's too small because I went and looked at the other car that I told you about. You know what I decided? It's too small.
Yeah.
So I came to figure something out. So I drive a Kia Sorento. A Kia Sorento is considered a mid-size SUV. And I never thought it was very big at all. Because I was always comparing it to like the Telluride, the Kia Telluride, or bigger cars. So I didn't think it was that big. So I go out, and the first thing that happens is this. I kept telling myself, I can't sell this home because this home. I always say home, this car, because I'm in negative equity. Jeremy, why would you be in negative equity? Aren't you the owner of the Larkin Group on the corner of Tabernacle? Don't you have tons of money? Guys, I do not follow Dave Ramsey's car purchasing guidance at all. I put the minimum amount down possible to leave the cash in my business to grow my business, right? And then I get the write-off of the monthly payment.
Yeah.
Okay. I want you, if you're a business owner, I hope you just heard me. Giving $30 or $40 or $60,000 for a car, Jesse, what could $50,000 create in a good business? Couldn't it create $1 million in income?
I think so.
Purchasing leads, buying advertising, hiring staff. So I buy this car with $5,000 down, cars, and I bought it in 21 when everything was inflated. So I'm negative. But here's what I thought. First of all, I thought I was very negative. Well, when I get down to brass tacks, I find out I'm actually not very negative. I'm like $2,000 or $3,000 negative. That's number one. Okay. Why would I sell the car? Side note is it's getting a lot of mileage.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hold on to it until I have another major mechanical.
In real estate, we drive a lot.
Yeah, and I'm putting on it because I'm traveling back and forth to Utah, northern Utah, 30,000 miles a year. Okay. So number one, I thought I couldn't do it because I was in too negative of equity. Well, first of all, I just wasn't. Yeah. Number two, I said, well, the payment will be worse because I think rates are high. Jesse, do people think rates on everything are too high? They do. Yep. But have most people even done the math?
Nope.
So I called my guys at Mountain America Credit Union. I actually looked at a couple of credit unions, but I have 2 auto loans. Well, I've had 2 auto loans. We run the whole scenario. This guy is fantastic on the phone. I was like, dude, you're hired on my team. We get to the end, and what do I find out? My payment would be lower.
Oh, wow.
Than my current car. And third, I want to purchase.
That doesn't surprise me because when you bought that was about 2 years ago.
Almost 3 years ago.
When they were pretty high.
Yeah. And third, guys, we're talking about the 3 financial benefits of homeownership. Well, I'm showing you how people don't know, so they don't buy or sell a home because they think they don't know what's happening in ignorance. But I'm using the comparison of my car. Third, I want to purchase at minimum a hybrid, but quite frankly, I'm looking for a plug-in hybrid. Well, the savings monthly on a plug-in, annually on a plug-in hybrid for me is probably about $5,000.
Okay.
Does this sound like comparing the 3 benefits of? Okay,
it does.
So, gang,
I went through the same thing when I just bought my Tesla.
2 minutes. I know it's
like it was a hard decision.
It's a beautiful car.
It was a hard decision for me, but I'm grateful. I was going to say you said I drive and I'm just going to say my Tesla drives me.
Yeah, Jesse loves the self-driving, and I went in it, and it really definitely self-drove us.
It's crazy.
And so, Jesse, you went through the same thing.
I did.
I want to convey something to our listeners. If you are holding off on moving, see, we say buying and selling, moving in a buy or sell situation, and you haven't actually explored what it is, but you're holding off because you think things are away. Mm-hmm. Take my story of my vehicle and realize you probably don't know. And Jesse, why would someone know? Look, if you're a regular consumer with your own job and your kids, you don't study real estate.
See, that's the thing about the 21st,
1 minute.
The 21st century is we think we can just Google something and know as much as we need to know.
And I'll leave you with this, Jesse. People do not need more information. There is plenty of information. People need perspective.
Yep.
And this is what I teach realtors when I train realtors. You don't need scripts. You need context.
You only
so,
get
guys,
that experience. In doing it.
And if you want context and you want perspective about the real estate market, visit us at gostgeorge.com, GOSTGeorge.com, or Google the Larkin Group. You can see all of our shows on YouTube. Every one of these shows lives in YouTube, guys. That's Go St. George TV on YouTube. Look up the Larkin Group YouTube. You can, if you like this one, you're going to like the last 50 or 100 we've done. Jeremy, Larkin, Jesse, Paul over at the Larkin Group,
Thanks for having
KW
us.
Realty. Over and out.